Good afternoon everyone, I hope you're well. Thank you for joining me in the studio today. Are we all excited about today's studio? I look like I've been blown around a little bit in the wind, doesn't it? Just because I've just had the dog out. So welcome to the studio everybody, I hope you're all well. I hope a lot of you have come to craft along today. If you haven't, you can still watch and get the inspiration, the video never disappears. And if you are crafting along, that is amazing. So I am going to be using the lovely It's All About You paper collection, but if you are crafting along without this collection, all you need is some papers and some A4 card, and I'm going to talk you through. As you can see from behind me, all the fabulous samples that the lovely design team have made for me, and these will be going to TV tomorrow. I've got a beautiful album here from the lovely Lynn in a box, and you can see down the side, once we remove all those words, you'll be able to see all the lovely samples. There is so much you can do with this collection. So hi Paula, Denise, Elaine, Enid, Bernie, Selma, Tina Smith. Nice to see you all again. I'm just having a nice little cup of coffee and I've just had a cream egg. So I'm happy. So in today's studio we are going to do a little bit of a craft along. Please don't worry if you don't keep up, the video never goes away. Secondly, I haven't done any of the work before time, so we will be able to do it together. Thirdly, what we're going to do is we're going to create the bare bones of a nice box and a gift wallet, notelet wallet inside a box. And then if we run out of time, I know that you can take it away and embellish it with your pretty papers if you want to, but I'm going to show you how to construct a beautiful box, a lovely note wallet, and time permitting we'll try and get some embellishments on there too. So I hope that's okay. I'm sure you can pick your pretty papers and enjoy finishing it after the show, but there are some construction techniques that I want to show you and get out of the way. There is absolutely no measuring, okay? So don't worry about it. If you are doing a craft along with me though, you will need some A4 card. It doesn't matter what colour. I'm using craft card and white card. You can use white card, black card, whatever colour you want if it's in keeping with your paper pad theme. You will need a scoreboard to do a little bit of scoring. I can see you all now jumping out your chairs going to grab a scoreboard, and then just your little bits and pieces, i.e. glue, tape, scissors, just your everyday crafty stuff. So if you have got it out on your table, let's have a go. And if it's successful, we might do this more often. We'll have to see how it goes. We've never done this before, but you will end up with a beautiful project at the end. A couple of things that I just want to tell you about though. So as you all know, we are live in studio every single day now whilst everybody is at home. What I will say to you though is a lot of you are not subscribers, so which means you either can't comment or you won't get the notifications when we're live. So with the viewing figures that we get, and you all come, and it's brilliant that you all come for the inspiration, but half of you are either not subscribed or haven't clicked that bell button on YouTube to get the notifications when we're live. And it's brilliant that that facility is there because it tells you, because sometimes I do just pop up in studio out of the blue and it just gives you an instant notification to say Stamps by Me are going to go live in say an hour or something. So if you haven't clicked the subscribe button, please do it, and if you want to click the bell, then you get all the notifications as well. All the lovely customers that are on here every single day with us, our regulars, they're already subscribers and already there and never miss a show. So it's a great place to come, and it's a lovely place to come for inspiration, hints, tips. You can all talk in the conversation community. Everybody's looking after everybody, and if there's something I can't answer, some of the regulars on here will be able to answer the questions for you. We're all really much in it for one thing really, and that is to craft and have some enjoyment. So you can see from the lovely notifications on the side here, I do have a lot to get through, so we have typed a lot on there because I do forget. So we're launching our Craft Academy on Monday the 6th. And basically that is the first stamp I will be showing you of our 12-week program. So if you want to get the stamp and craft along, you can. If you want to dig one that's out in your stash that's similar, you can. And we'll do lots of crafting with that stamp until I show you the next one. And if you like the next one, you don't have to commit to any of the weeks. You can hit one, miss 5, hit 2. Just take your pick on which ones you like. It's just a free-for-all basically, and the inspiration is going to be there for you. So let's have a look. Yep, I've said that, hit the bell. I'm just checking through my list. So tomorrow I'm live on Create and Craft at 9:45 and 4:30. Okay, so don't forget to either click the record on your channel. I don't know if catch-ups come back yet. I did think they'd got rid of it, but just so you know, just to be safe, just click that record button, and then you can go back, and if you have bought the products, you'll be able to do what I do in the inspiration. And for to be able to click and subscribe over on YouTube, all you need to do is click the logo and it'll instantly subscribe you, and click the bell. Okay, so fingers crossed you'll be able to find it. If anybody has any problems, there's lovely ladies on here who are subscribers and will be able to help you and talk you through it. The design team are on here too. Okay, so shall we craft? That's all the stuff out of the way. So let me just talk through you what I've got on my desk, okay? As I said, there's no measuring, so don't be thinking, I'm not going to be able to craft along, I don't know the measurements, I can't keep up. It's really, really easy, and I'm going to show you a project how to get the most out of an A4 piece of card. So the products I'm going to be using are the lovely Tell Me a Story. Sorry, it's all about you, but you might be using your Tell Me a Story paper collection. So this is the one that's on Create and Craft tomorrow. So we have our paper collection and we have our coordinating stamp and die. Don't worry if you don't have a stamp and die, because these are imprinted onto the papers as well, so you can fussy cut them if you wish. So that's the collection we're going to use. I've got a little bit of craft card, just some A4 sheets here, so if you can grab 2 sheets to start with, that would be brilliant. I've got my little scoreboard. If you've got a bigger one, that would be better. Unfortunately, I can't find my big one, so I'm having to persevere with the little one. But a scoreboard and a cutter. Okay, no pens, no pencils, nothing to measure. We're just going to go for it, and we're going to construct the bare bones of, let's just show you what we're going to do. Let's just move this to one side. I've got the biggest counter in the world, but still not enough space. So what we're going to do is we're going to create this lovely box here, and then when you open the lovely box, you can take out your lovely gift wallet here, just set that aside. And we've got this lovely wallet here with the lovely belly band on, and you can, I'm not going to show you how to embellish it, that's your job at home, that's the enjoyment. I'm going to show you how to just construct and make the bare bones of this. And then obviously your belly band comes off, and you can pop money inside, a thank you card, and if we've got time we will do that, okay? So the belly band just fits lovely onto the wallet like so, and then we have it housed within the beautiful box. So I hope you like it. If you are using an alternative paper pad, that's absolutely fine. Still post it in the Eureka fan page though, because we do want to see your makes after you've crafted along, and I do want to see your take on it, because we're all different as crafters, aren't we? So excited. Let's see how this goes. I have been looking forward to this all day actually, to see how people are going to be doing it and enjoying it. So I'm going to show you how I make a box and how I do a wallet. If you've got something that works at home for you, I don't want to change what works for you, okay? I'm just showing you the way that I do it, and if it helps you, then that's brilliant. I don't know the scale of crafters we've got on here. We could have some really advanced crafters, but we could have some beginner crafters too. So what I've done is I've broken it right down so everybody can get involved. And then if you are a bit more advanced and a bit more crafty, should we say, you can add your own twist on it maybe, and add more pockets and all the good stuff. So let's just say, I'm just checking out the comments now. Wow, Doreen, I think you found the live chat. Couldn't find it yesterday. Yet we're here. Everybody's chatting away. So I'm glad you liked the little project. So shall we crack straight on? Because obviously time permitting, I'm definitely going to show you how to make the bare bones of the project, and then if we run out of time, you can decorate it after the show and then post pictures and let me know how you got on. And if it's something you love, make sure you let me know, because if it works, Can you hear me now? Can everybody hear me now? Perfect. Sorry about that. My batteries went flat in my microphone. Yeah. Oh, I'm back. I didn't disappear far. My batteries just went flat, unfortunately. It's a good job I had a pen and piece of paper, isn't it? It's a good job I'm in the craft industry. So, let's start again. So, I have two pieces of A4 card. Now, you can do this with any pieces of card, but the two pieces have to be exactly the same size to start off with to create your box. Okay? Is everybody still getting me? I think they are. Yep. That's better. Okay, so one of the pieces of paper or card that I'm going to be using, so if you've got two pieces in front of you now, you just need to pop it in your guillotine, and I'll just show you how much you need to take off. So when you're taking some of the a slither off, you're just going to take it from one of the sides of the long sides and across the top. You're not going to do it on all four, and this is where some people make the mistake of making a box. Okay, so we're going to take a slither across the top and a slither across the bottom, and I'll show you what I mean by a slither. If you take too much off, what will happen is your base of your box will sort of jig around in the lid, but it's okay, go with it. Use it, and then next time when you make another, don't make the slither as big. So I have just taken this slither off the side here. Can we see that there? Nothing massive. This card is 250 GSM, Elizabeth, and you'll probably get away between 200 and 300 to do this project. So I've taken a slither off the long side, and I'm going to take a slither off the short side, as pretty much as near as I can. So I have my two pieces, look. A long and a short off the A4. Okay, so these pieces were two pieces of A4, and I've taken a slither off the top like so, and a slither off the bottom. Sorry, a slither off the top and a slither off the side. So I still have two pieces of card. One is just slightly smaller than the other one. Let's move on to the next stage. So I'll just move my guillotine out of the way. So now we're just going to need our scoreboard, and we're going to need a score tool. So on both pieces of card, you're going to score at 1.5, and this is the depth, the deep part of your box. Now if you're putting, say for instance, like a Cadbury's cream egg, because I've just had one in there, then you'd obviously have to see the thickness. So do it as thick as you need. For this box, I'm going to do 1.5 inches, but you could do 1 inch, you could do 2 inch. Okay, so I'm just going to score at 1.5 inches all the way around. So if you are crafting along, take both pieces of card and score. Obviously my scoreboard's not long enough, so I'm just going to have to turn it over. Score at 1.5. So there we have a scored piece of card, 1.5 inch all the way around in your scoreboard. Okay. And then the next piece, I'm just going to pop in, and again, 1.5. You will probably have a bigger scoreboard than me. Unfortunately, mine's still packed down from the old place. Like so. So just move this out of the way and I'll just show you. So two pieces of card with this 1.5 inch all the way around. Can we see that there? So now all we're going to do is we're just going to fold it over. Give it a good old push on that crease line, a nice and lovely crisp line on there. And we're going to do this on both pieces. The card that I'm using is 250 GSM, but you will get away with 200, between 200 and 300. So there we go, I've just given it a lovely crease on those lines there. Lisa, that is the scoreboard that I've just used, sweetheart, the one in my Eureka. So like I just did there, just turn it over and score it on the other side and get the lines to join. I can't find my big one. So 2 pieces, give them a good old score. Yeah, so Viv, I know this is the easiest way I know how to do it, you see. So 2 pieces of card exactly the same. Take a slither off the long side and a slither off the short side and it works. You get a box that sits within a box without all the awful measurements. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make the box. So these squares here we need to make into like little hinges so we can pop some glue on. The way that I do it, just set this one aside, is I cut on one of the straight lines, like so, and then I cut from this point into that straight line we've just cut, and it cut like out a triangle, so you end up with this sort of look. So we're going to do that on all 4 sides. It doesn't matter which straight edge you cut onto, as long as you can cut it as straight as possible, and it'll keep your project really neat. So basically you're cutting a triangle out of each square. And you need to do this with both parts. So cut across the straight part. It wouldn't matter if I'd cut that straight part. It doesn't matter which straight part you cut. And then I'm going to go in and cut that triangle out. And then we have this sort of shape going on. Okay, so let's move on to our second one. Yes, so just take a slither off one of the sheets. As long as the sheets are both exactly the same size, take a slither off the long side and a slither off one of the short sides, and it will fit. Okay, so I'm just taking the triangles out of this one as well. So you'll all be making boxes now, won't you? Which is fab. You can make your own boxes, and obviously the depth of your box is down to yourself, whatever you score. So this is obviously 1.5 because that's what we did on our scoreboard. But if you just wanted to do a little 1 inch or 1/2 inch, you could do that too. So what we're going to do now is let's get this glued together. So I'm just going to use some glue, and I'm just going to pop glue onto this triangular part here. Okay, don't put a lot on because it will squidge out everywhere. And you'll be thinking, oh, what a mess. It does look ugly if you don't if you put too much glue on. So pop it into place and then just hold it for a second. Now, patience is key, but I am being patient because I know some of you are crafting along with me, so I'll have to be patient. Yeah, so if you've got some papers in your stash from anybody and some coloured cardstock that probably matches or goes with the theme, you could literally go to town making gift boxes and wallets and things like that. These wallets are fabulous for gift cards and money for little ones if they don't eat chocolate and things like that. Lisa, you've never made a box before? Hold it with a paper clip, great idea. If only I had a paper clip. But it's fine, is that one. So I'll move on to my next one. So I popped a little bit of glue on that triangle. Paper clips to hold corners. I must pick some of them up next time I'm in. Next time I'm in the range or something. So we've got, and what will happen is because you've cut those corners, so can you see, I'll just move my hand here, can you see because you've cut those corners on that lovely triangle, you get a lovely finish. But if you are going to decorate the inside of your box, that will be hidden anyway. But if you're not, at least it still looks pretty Does that make sense? It still looks really, it's attractive on the eye, even if you're not going to cover it. Denise is going to use the blue and yellow collection. I know, it's hard to decide, isn't it? Just dig them all out, get them used, you know, stop smelling them. Stop smelling them and get them used. So I'm on to my third hinge here. So how many people are actually crafting along today? Let me know. Be interesting to see. If nobody's crafting along, I'm going to speed through this like you can't imagine. So I'm just making sure that's nice and tight. And then our next one. Oh, there's people crafting along, so that's lovely. Oh, there's a few of you crafting along, that's amazing. Let's hope it's a success, hey, and we can do it again. So I'm just, and we can see it looks absolutely gorgeous because I've taken my time with it. Got those lovely cuts as straight as possible and not used too much glue. I have a lovely box. There we go. So that's it could be the base or the lid, I'm not sure yet, but I'm soon sure to find out. So let's set that one aside. Let's quickly do this one. If you're not crafting along, you know you can go back and watch the video at a later date. And as you all know from what I told you yesterday, there will be written instructions for the projects that we do here in studio also. We are just in the process of getting them all loaded on step by step. So for those of you that maybe are not very good with YouTube maybe, or don't have limited access, you can print the instructions off and save them for a rainy day. So that's one. Let's move on to this one. Feels really weird doing it in real time. I would have had all this prepped, wouldn't I, before coming to air. So I'm just holding this one next. Good idea, glue gun. I've got a lot of glue guns. I'm not sure where they are at the moment though. So 2 more to go. If you are ahead of me, you know, you've got your cup of tea or your cup of coffee. You can have a little drink till I catch up. Let's see if I think my coffee will have gone cold now. Crikey. Talk about speed crafting, girls. Better get my bottom into gear. So the key to a good looking box or a good looking album is hold yourself with the glue. So I don't know if everybody's watching the comments, but can we see lovely Sana? Sana's on our design team. She's actually in India. Can you believe that? She's in India. Sana's got a lovely YouTube channel. She's been doing lots of videos showing you her makes. Her English is really, really good as well. So go and check Sana out. She has been posting some makes on our lovely Eureka fan page. And she's quite a talented young lady. So she's saying no, but it is true. So there we have the lovely, that's the second one. So we've got a lovely, a lovely, and it's all nice and tidy inside. It's not got the ugly splurges. There we go. Can we see that there? How cool is that? So don't forget take a slither off the side, a slither off, we should make a song, a slither off the top, a slither off the side, and then score it exactly the same way, and you get a nice box. Sorry, Sunny's from Pakistan. You're very welcome, Sunny. So, first part, box. Are we all okay? Is everybody okay so far? Can I move on? Hopefully I can move on. So, let's move on to our next stage then. So, another piece of A4 card, okay? I'm just going to grab my scoreboard again. And to create the, let's just get the lovely, just take the belly band off. So to create the foldable element, this is an A4 piece of card, okay? And it's just scored. No measuring, no faffing, just let's just keep it pure, simple, okay? The cardstock, unfortunately, I don't have it online just simply because it's really heavy and it costs a fortune to get out to you guys. However, stand by on that one because I am creating my own colours, own coloured envelopes, own coloured cards. So we will be loading those onto the website as soon as they arrive. So I would patiently wait if you can. But just grab what you've got in your stash for now. Margaret, if you've got any, fingers crossed you've got some. So I've just pasted this A4 piece of cardstock into my little Eureka scoreboard, but a bigger scoreboard, as I've said, is better, but I'm just going to go for it. So basically I'm just scoring at 4.5. Let me put my 4.5, and then just fold it over like so, and then you end up with this sort of gate. Is that a gatefold card? And then I'm just going to pop it back in, and when you look at it back in, you pop it back in, you can see the 4.5 line again. So you can score it at 4.5, but I just need you to think about what you are putting in this wallet. So if you put in a £10 note, for instance, it's not fat and it's not bulky, so it's okay to score it again at 4.5. But if you're going to put a handmade card in there, and maybe a few tags and things like that, you need to make it a little bit bigger to give it a little bit of movability. So just food for thought, if you just pop in some money in, you can score again at 4.5. If you're popping more than that in, you need to go a little bit bigger. So just go the next notch up on your scoreboard. So that one is 4.5, I'm just going to go the next notch up. Okay, and then you fold this one over, and then we have our wallet. I went the next notch up because I am going to put a card or something in here. Okay, so see that there? So that's just an A4 piece of card scored at 4.5, 4.5 and a notch up, and you get this lovely sort of a thing. Okay, Carol, we're not rushing ahead. We won't leave you behind, sweetheart. If you're only on your 4th corner, don't worry about it. And again, the video is always here for you, so later after show, if you just want to remind me, you can do that also. Okay, so we have our lovely folder going on here. Okay, so we have our box and we have the makings of our wallet. Okay, now let's do our belly band. And if you've noticed, what I'm doing is I'm constructing all the elements that you won't be able to do at home on your own. And then we'll start embellishing, and then if we run out of time, you can just continue to embellish. You ain't got to think, oh, how did we do belly band? We ran out of time. Because all the components we've built together, it's just a case of you, as I would say, tarting it up. Oh, has your pen leaked, Lynn? Oh, that's a shame, sweetheart. Just personal messages, darling, and we'll get it sorted for you. Not a problem. So, another piece of A4 card, no measuring, okay? All I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it into my Eureka. I'll just cut a slither off, and I'll show you 2 inch. If you do measure, it's about 2 inch, but I just guess. So I've just cut the side off my A4 piece of card here, okay? So it's about 2 inch. You can go deeper if you want to, or slimmer if you want to also. So I'll set this aside. And the way that I do my belly band is I close all my album. Yeah, I'm just being told if you're not keeping up, it's very difficult to make sure everybody keeps up, and we're limited on time. But even though it's real time, you can rewind me real time, okay? Just because I'm live, it doesn't mean you can't rewind me. You can push me back. Just be mindful that I probably won't be on air while you're still watching the show if you do rewind me. Oh, sorry, Lynn, it's not my pen that's leaked, is it somebody else's? Oh, bless you. Pens, they're a nightmare, aren't they? Some can be a blooming nightmare. You're so unpredictable at times. So, this is how I do my belly band. So I fold all of my lovely wallet and I sit it on top of the piece of card or the slither that I've just cut in my guillotine, okay? And then all I do is I bring it round one side, and I bring the other side around so they connect like so. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just give it a little bit of grace to move it up and down like so. So if you wrap it round too tight, really tight like that, you're never going to get your belly band on and off. So make sure you don't do it too tight. So I'm happy that that has got a little bit of movability in there, look. So don't wrap it round too tight. So let's glue that in place. So I'm just going to pop some glue underneath here. And again, just make sure it's not too tight. Make sure it's level. And then just hold it in place. If you've got a paper clip or something, you can hold yours in place. Just make sure it's straight. There we go. I'm just going to hold that in place whilst it dries a second. Yes, Denise, we have made some wallets before, and I think it was with, my goodness me, you're testing me now, Linda Chapman's papers, wasn't it? And we had some corner pockets and things like that. But they are a fabulous idea for gift wallets, money wallets, and if you think about how much the money wallets are now, they're at least £1, aren't they, or something? It's crazy. Why do it when you can make your own? And what I would say is make lots in different colours, and if you do sell your makes, take them to a craft fair and then just add an embellishment on for whatever occasion they want it for. It's absolutely brilliant. So I think that's nearly dry. So, yep, look, there we go. So if you've got a nice, easy, because when you come to mat and layer all your papers onto there, it's going to bulk out and bulk out and bulk out. So give yourself a little bit of grace, okay? Because you can see, I'll just show you on mine here, look. You can see how I've got a little bit of give in this one, look. Can we see? It's really, if you look there, I've got quite a bit of grace in there, but I haven't made the handmade card to go inside, and I haven't popped the embellishments in that I want to, so I've given myself a little bit of grace, because trust me, when you've made it and then you come to put the belly band back on and you can't get it on, it will frustrate you to death. I've done it loads of times. So it's a hard lesson to learn, but it is worth it if you just give yourself some grace. So so the piece that I've just taken that slither off for the belly band, I'm just going to cut a square. I'll show you what I'm going to cut and then you can copy if you want to. So, and I'll tell you roughly what size in a second. So about 3.5 by 3.5, I don't measure. If you haven't gathered by now, I do not measure. And what this is going to do is it's going to cover our ugly makings of our belly band underneath. Can we see that there? So you could make it smaller. You could do 2 by 2, 3 by 3, 4 by 4. I would say basically use the scraps of your card. So when I've just taken a slither off that A4, whatever was left, I just use it to embellish. I'm just going to make this a little bit smaller. Let's just go a tiny bit smaller. So now it's more like 3 by 3. Okay, so you could pop it flat like so, if you wanted to, straight on top, or you could pop it like so, or you could pop it on maybe a diamond shape on the front of your belly band. It's entirely up to you. So let's just move this aside. So let's glue this in place first of all. Let's just move my guillotine. And pop some glue onto here. And we'll just pop this on the front. Like grab. Make sure it's straight. Paula, that's brilliant. Yes, first time my box actually fits the lid. And what happens is if you do cut a slither too big and it rattles around a little bit, the base, next time you do it, you won't cut as much off. So that's the only way I know how to make a box now. If somebody told me any other way, I'd be like, it's too hard. I haven't got the time, patience. So there we go. So we've got our lovely, oh, make sure it's straight. So we've got our lovely belly band there with the lovely square on the front there. So this is ready to go to be embellished to the nines. So sparkle, colours, all the good stuff. I love the good stuff. I love the construction part, but I do love to then embellish. So let's just set this one aside. So now we have our lovely box, box base, box lid. We have our lovely wallet. And we have our belly band. So there are the bare bones of this collection. So let's have some fun and embellish them now. So let me grab my papers. So for my box, I'm going to use my 12 by 12 because the patterns are bigger. But if you've only got 8 by 8 at home, the 8 by 8 still work for this box. Okay, you don't have to have this. I just like the bigger pattern on the 12 by 12. For this one. So whatever papers you've got at home, have I got a question there? You can pad it out with tissue paper, that's very right. And that's why it's good to always just leave that little bit of extra space, because you might want to put a cream egg in. I keep talking about cream eggs. Or something like that, don't you? You can pop a little surprise in there. So I'm going to go with this one, and the reason I'm going to go with this one is because I haven't actually used this one out of my paper pad as of yet, and it goes back to what I was saying about the stamp. If you don't have the stamp, you have it in here and you have it in the smaller one, and the lovely leaf, so you can fussy cut. If you're a fussy cut fan, you can cut them out. So let me just pull this out of my paper pad. Make sure we're all right for time. So I'm happy. I didn't know how that would go. I didn't know if that would take me longer, but I'm happy now that you have the bare bones of something at home. So should the show come to an end, you can go and embellish as you wish. But I am going to play now. So this is the way that I decorate my embellishments. I do not measure, and I'm sure probably a lot of you do what I'm going to do, but a lot of you probably do measure. So I just pop the cardstock onto the top of my box, and with my finger I just pop a little mark. I just pop a little mark in there, and then I get my guillotine and I cut on my little mark. You can mark it with a little pokey tool or something. I think people mark with pokey tools. Like so. And then when you come to pop it on the top of your box, look, it fits in there like so, leaving a lovely border around. And then at the base here, I just pop a little finger mark in here. I pop it back in my guillotine. Like so. So I know I've got my embellishment for my lid. So let's stick this one on. So if you're not crafting along with me with these papers, what are you crafting along with? Let me know. Maybe Graphic 45 or Tim Hall. What are you crafting along with? Let me know. I can't wait to see everybody's projects. So So I'm just going to stick this one flat on here. So, there we go, so we've got our top matted on there. Just give it a second to grab. So if like at home, I mean this is basically a beginner one, but at home if you've got a hole punch that does the semicircle, you know, so you can lift the lid off, you can semicircle. If you've got like corner punches and things like that, you can corner punch your pockets and things like that. You can absolutely go to town. It's just that I have limited supplies here and I didn't want to use anything in studio which you at home might not have. Pink pad, blue pad, wow. And don't forget as well, you can get all your distressing tools out and distress the edges and make them like distressed and things like that if you want to. So that's stuck nicely on there. So I am going to turn my box over and I'm going to decorate the base of my box, and I'm going to use the rest of this 12 by 12 sheet. And again, I'm just going to pop it on. Just going to mark it with my finger. See the little mark there? Pop it into my little cutter. Pop it back on my project. Take my finger. If you do like to measure, obviously it takes a little bit more time. If you do like to measure, then measure. Don't do what I'm doing, thinking, that's crazy what she's doing. This is just the way that I do it. I just find it easier. If people start throwing lots of figures at me, it throws me. So I'd rather just go for it. And as long as my lines are cut straight, it will look beautiful. So this is the lovely base. Circle punch, great idea, Sharon. Yep, that works. So if you've got a circle punch, you just pop it on half of the cardstock and it punches a hole on there. So we have our lovely base there. So we've got our box sort of coming together. I'm not going to bother with the sides because I want to get onto the wallet. But you can embellish the sides. I think you're all quite capable of that. So let's pick another piece of, so you can see already, can we see these lovely strips that are left over from that 12 by 12? This is where I sort of like then embellish these sort of embellishments here. Can we see this here? So I've got my belly band here. So I would never cut into a piece of paper to just embellish that. I would wait till I've sort of like embellished the lid and the wallet, and then what's left, look, these squares are perfect to then embellish, cut down and embellish those squares. Can we see that there? Never cut into a piece of paper just for a tiny square. Wait till the end because you'll have loads of offcuts and things, so you'll be able to use those first. So I will use those when we come to our belly band. So again, same concept with this really. So let's just grab another piece of paper from my 12 by 12. So what do I want my wallet to look like inside? Decisions. So I'm going to go with this one. I am going to go with this one. I think this will look pretty. So I'm just going to tear that sheet out. So when you take your sheet of cardstock or paper out of the pad, you end up with this, like, can you see where it's weaved into the actual paper pad here? It's like a little bit of a stitch detail in there. You need to make sure you take that off because it won't look very good on your project when it does look like you have literally just torn it out of a paper pad. So we have a nice edge there now. So I'm going to decorate the whole back side or the whole inside. It doesn't really matter. Let's do the inside. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop my piece of cardstock on to that area, and again I can see the score line, and I'm just going to pop a little finger mark. Is everybody still with me? Have I lost anybody? Is everybody? I think everybody's still okay. Like so, and then I'm just going to pop it onto my artwork, and then at the base, just pop a little finger mark, pop it in to my guillotine, like so. So you've got this lovely script. So we'll go there for that one. Then the next one again, pop it on, pop your finger mark. You see, you're getting lots of like little squares and things like that. They're brilliant to embellish the front of your box, tags, things like that. So I'm just going to pop this one in here, and pop a little finger mark, and then we'll glue all three down together. So we've got 1, 2, and then our next one. And the great thing about doing it this way as well is you get the repeating pattern, so it coordinates. Does that make sense? It follows suit, does the pattern. It looks super cool if you do it this way. So another line. So let's stick these three down. So we've got our makings of the inside of our wallet going on here, look. So let's get this one stuck down. And the next one. And then the last one. So there we have the inside. So just give it a chance to adhere, like so. Can we see that there? And then I'm going to grab our offcuts from our A4. So no measuring again, just offcuts. Make sure that sticks down. And we're going to create some pockets inside here. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to take it this way. Just going to lay it across the bottom of this pocket here. I'm just going to pop a little mark. And this is going to be the pocket. So if you are an advanced crafter, you would score and wrap the pocket round the back of your work and things like that. But I am literally just showing you basics here. We would be here all day if we started doing all the professional stuff. And I do think sometimes you don't need to do all the fancy flaps and things like that. I do sometimes think you can get a lovely project from just the basic of things. So there we have two lovely pockets there. Now you can use your offcuts, like for instance I've got this piece here, so we could cut and pop some decorative elements around the pockets. So all I'm going to do to stick this one down, now you could use red liner tape if you wanted to. I'm just going to go with glue because that's what I have to hand. So I'm just going to do the top, the left and the right. Now if you are going to be putting cards in here, I would say that you use red liner tape. It will just hold them probably better than the glue would. And going back to the belly band, this is the reason why you need to give your card a little bit of, the belly band a little bit of movability, because look, we've just added a little bit more depth to our book by just adding these two pieces of card. So there we go. So we get our little bit of a note look coming together there. So I'm not going to decorate the outside because you've seen me do the inside and it's the same on the outside as it is on the inside. Let's just make sure our belly band still fits, hopefully. There we go, still got a little bit of movement in there, but I still have to pop some things inside as well, don't I? So let's decorate the front of our wallet here. So with the paper that we've got left, so this is quite pretty, we could use this part, couldn't we? Yeah, shall we use that? That's quite pretty, so I'm just going to pop a little mark there for where I need to cut. Pop it in my guillotine. Just give it a push down. It actually looks nice just on craft, doesn't it? I'll just give that a second to grab. Oh, that's good, Wendy. I'm pleased you're picking up some inspiration or some help. So there we have our decorated belly band on the front there. So let's get the stamp and die. So if you are not using our paper pads, dig out a stamp and die that's probably going to work with your collection, just to embellish. So I'm going to be using the lovely flower head and the leaves. And I'm really loving stamping onto patterned paper at the moment. It just stops it from being a bit bland, I think. So I am going to pick some paper from the collection, and I'll use my 8x8 for this one because this pattern is smaller. Now you could go the lovely wood grain pattern if you wanted to. It's decisions really, isn't it? Just found a little flower in there that I'd done earlier, look, there we go. So that's cheating though, I can't use it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, let's have a look. I think we use the pattern that we used within, where are you? I haven't used it all, have I? Have I used it all? No. I haven't used it all. I have. I've used it all, gutted. I'm gonna have to use, let's go for this wood. I've used it all. Shocking. See how much I've been using this though. We have been using it for a while now, haven't we? So I'm going to pop that into my Eureka, and I'm going to stamp the lovely leaves and the lovely flower. And we'll stamp this one straight into black. Make our artwork pop. Oops, I'm pleased with that one. What I am going to do is I'm just going to stamp another leaf. Better take that off the door, hadn't I, because it's moved. Because I need 2 leaves for my belly band. There we go. So let's die cut these ones, and we can embellish our lovely belly band. And that's the fun part, isn't it, embellishing? So I know you're all probably not listening to me at all now and having a great time embellishing your projects. Have to make sure you show me later. So I'm just going to grab my plates. I'm just going to pop the outline around. So these give you that nice 1mm border as always. So if you have stopped because we've run away with ourselves, don't worry about it. You can go back and watch it. You can rewind it and just watch it in your own time. I think the added pressure, if you're anything like me, the added pressure of keeping up is a nightmare. If I go to anybody's class, well, I haven't been to classes for years, but if I go to anybody's classes and the class runs away with me, it completely throws me, and then I start doing everything wrong, sticking things in places where they shouldn't be. So at least here you have the capability to stop, rewind, and just do it at your own pace, because that's what it's all about. If you start getting a little bit of anxiety and thinking I'm doing everything wrong, then you're not enjoying it, are you? So do it in your own time, and enjoy it, more importantly. So let's just cut these two pieces out so you get this lovely flower and large leaf embellishment on there. Can we see that there? Absolutely gorgeous. Now you could add watercolours to enhance them a little bit if you wanted to, or you could leave them as is if you've done them on patterned paper. It's entirely up to you. I'm just going to cut this last one out. Run this one through. Lisa, I would have a breakdown if I couldn't keep it. It's happened to me before. I was once at a class, I remember it quite clearly, and I ended up just doing my own thing. I just couldn't keep up. And then when they walk around and say, "Are you enjoying it? Are you?" like, "Oh, you've changed it up a little bit." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I just fancied doing something different." Really, I just couldn't keep up. Story of my life, eh? So let's get rid of the plates. And this is where we can embellish our lovely belly band. Now bear in mind, the actual wallet itself, you are going to decorate it. It's not going to stay craft. But we are going to embellish our band. So with this one, what I did, you don't have to do the same, it's your project, is I stuck one, which obviously went upwards like so, and then the other one I stuck so it came down, and then the one that we stamped here, I popped a pad behind. And I just popped it on a little angle to the side, so I still got that beautiful pattern behind there, and I give it a good old push down so it holds everything in place, and then you get this beautiful sliding element to your card there. I'll just show you the one that I have decorated on the back there. So if you embellish it and decorate it on the back, how beautiful it looks. And again, I just use my offcuts on there. So let me just quickly talk you through the box lid, because I'm being told I'm running out of time. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to talk you through. So I'll just bring my box in and show you on my box and what we've just created here, look. So basically all I did with mine was the scrap card that we still got going on, I just cut a panel, and you can see the panel here, and I popped the pattern paper on top, and I put a band straight down the centre just to break up the front of my box, and then I just stamped and die cut some more of the lovely stamps and dies. And this is a little postcard out of the 8x8, and I did the scissors down the side to distress it, and I just popped a little tag in there saying "You're the best." Easy peasy, eh? She says. Is everybody enjoyed that? I hope everybody's enjoyed that. I was just reading the comments there. What I'll do is I'll post a picture after show, and I'll post a picture of the box, the wallet open, the wallet closed, so you can get a visual idea of what you're aiming for, should we say. We will do the written instructions as well, but I know you all have now the bare bones, the band, the wallet and the box, so you can take that away with you now and just dig out all those lovely papers you've got in your stash and make one for a man, a pink one, a purple one, a blue one, and just have so much fun doing them. Once you've done a few, you can throw them together in half an hour. literally half an hour, and you can have so much fun doing them. I hope you've enjoyed the little craft along. It's the first time we've ever done it. I do appreciate your company. Let me know if you'd like to do it again, and we'll pick something else, and maybe some other pattern papers, and we'll do something else in something a little bit different. Obviously nothing to the grand scale of these beautiful ones, because it will take me a week being live, but I'm happy to put some little projects together where you can twist and turn them and make them into whatever projects you want for your loved ones. So I don't think I have anything else to tell you. Don't forget to pop a comment on the Facebook, and I will send a handmade card from the live studio, and I'll see you all tomorrow at 9:45 over on Create and Craft. Have a great evening, and if you're crafting, don't forget to post your mates. I can't wait to see what you've all been doing. Take care everyone. Bye.